Welcome back, treasure hunters and coin collectors. What if the next quarter in your pocket could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars? In today's exciting countdown, we're revealing the top 10 ultra-rare George Washington quarters from 1969 to 1997 that collectors are desperately searching for right now. These hidden gems include valuable mint errors, low mintage coins, and quarters that could turn your spare change into a small fortune. So grab your coin collection, stay tuned, and let's uncover these incredible quarter-dollar treasures. 1969 George Washington quarter-dollar coin. The 1969 George Washington quarter stands at a fascinating point in American coinage history, a time when the United States Mint was still adjusting to one of the biggest transitions it had ever made. Just a few years earlier, in 1965, the Mint had removed silver from circulating quarters, shifting to the copper-nickel-clad composition we still see today. By 1969, this new composition had fully taken hold, but the effects of that transition were still being felt in production quality, collector perception, and overall availability. This coin carries the familiar Washington quarter design that had been in use since 1932. On the obverse, George Washington's left-facing portrait dominates the field, a design created by John Flanagan based on a sculptural bust by Jean-Antoine Houdon. Above the portrait sits the word Liberty, while I in God We Trust appears to the left, and the date 1969 is placed to the right. The reverse features the classic heraldic eagle, wings fully spread, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both military strength and the pursuit of peace. United States of America is inscribed above the eagle, with $quarter below. Unlike later coins that clearly display mint marks, the 1969 quarter comes from multiple mints, including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with Philadelphia coins notably lacking a mint mark. This absence can sometimes confuse newer collectors, but it also adds an element of intrigue, especially when identifying varieties. The mintage for 1969 quarters was substantial, with hundreds of millions produced across all mints. This high production number means that in circulated condition, most 1969 quarters are only worth their face value. They are still commonly found in circulation today, often showing moderate to heavy wear from decades of use. However, the real value of the 1969 quarter begins to emerge when you examine coins in higher grades. Uncirculated examples, particularly those graded MS-65 and above, are far less common than the mintage might suggest. This is largely due to the mint's production practices during the late 1960s, when speed and volume were prioritized over precision and quality. As a result, many coins from this era exhibit weak strikes, surface marks, and inconsistent luster. A 1969 quarter in MS-65 condition might sell for $10 to $20, depending on eye appeal, but as you move into MS-66 and MS-67 territory, values increase significantly. Coins graded MS-67 can reach $100 to $300, especially if they display strong luster and minimal contact marks. At the very top end, MS-67 Plus and MS-68 examples are extremely rare and can command prices well into the hundreds or even over $1,000 at auction. One of the key factors driving value in the 1969 quarter is strike quality. Many coins from this year show softness in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Collectors actively seek out examples with sharp, well-defined details, as these are much harder to find. Luster is another critical component, with bright, original surfaces adding considerable appeal and value. Error coins from 1969 are a major area of interest and can significantly increase a coin's worth. Off-center strikes are among the most visually striking errors, occurring when the coin blank is not properly aligned during the minting process. Depending on how far off-center the strike is, these coins can sell for $50 to several $100s. Double die errors are another highly sought-after category. These occur when the die used to strike the coin has a misalignment during its creation, resulting in doubled images on the coin. Collectors often look for doubling in the lettering, particularly in Liberty and I in God We Trust. Confirmed double die examples can command strong premiums, especially if the doubling is clearly visible. Clipped planchet errors are also found in 1969 quarters. These occur when the metal strip used to create coin blanks is improperly cut, leaving a portion missing. The resulting curved clip is a distinctive feature that collectors recognize immediately. Depending on the size and condition, these coins can be worth $75 to $250 or more. Another fascinating error type includes strike-through errors, where debris or foreign material interferes with the striking process, leaving unusual marks or missing details on the coin's surface. These errors are unique and often highly collectible, with values varying based on the severity and visual impact. Collector interest in the 1969 quarter has grown steadily over time, particularly as more people recognize the significance of coins from the transitional period following the removal of silver. This historical context adds an extra layer of appeal, as the coin represents a shift in American coinage that continues to influence modern production. What makes the 1969 quarter especially appealing is its accessibility. It can still be found in circulation, coin rolls, and old collections, giving collectors the opportunity to search for valuable examples without a large upfront investment. This combination of availability and potential makes it a favorite among both beginners and experienced numismatists. 1973 George Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. The 1973 George Washington quarter comes from a fascinating era in American coinage, a time when the United States Mint had fully transitioned away from silver and was now deeply entrenched in the production of copper-nickel-clad coins. By this point, the Mint was operating at high capacity, producing hundreds of millions of coins to meet the demands of a growing economy. Yet within that mass production environment, subtle variations and rare high-grade examples were quietly being created. This coin continues the classic Washington quarter design that had been in use since 1932. On the obverse, George Washington's left-facing profile dominates the coin, designed by John Flanagan and inspired by the sculpture of Jean-Antoine Houdon. The word liberty appears boldly above his head, while I in God we trust is positioned to the left, and the date 1973 sits clearly on the right. The reverse features the iconic heraldic eagle, wings fully extended, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both readiness for defense and the desire for peace. United States of America arcs above the eagle, with quarter dollar inscribed below. The 1973 quarter was struck at multiple mints, including Philadelphia, which did not use a mint mark at the time, Denver with the D mint mark, and San Francisco, which primarily produced proof coins for collectors. Combined, the mintage reached into the hundreds of millions, making the coin extremely common in circulated condition. In everyday use, most 1973 quarters show clear signs of wear. The high points of Washington's hair are often flattened, the eagle's feathers lose their detail, and the overall surface becomes dull from decades of handling. These circulated examples typically hold only face value, but the story changes dramatically when you begin to examine coins that have been preserved in higher grades. Uncirculated 1973 quarters are far less common than the mintage suggests. Coins graded MS-65 may sell for $10 to $20 depending on luster and eye appeal. As you move into MS-66 and MS-67 territory, the population drops sharply and values increase significantly. MS-67 examples can bring $150 to $400, especially if they exhibit strong strike quality and original mint luster. At the very top end of the grading scale, MS-67 Plus and MS-68 coins are extremely rare. These coins represent the finest known examples, with nearly flawless surfaces, sharp details, and vibrant luster. When such coins appear at auction, they can command prices ranging from several $100s to well over $1,000, depending on demand and certification. One of the key factors affecting value in the 1973 quarter is strike quality. Many coins from this period suffer from weak strikes, particularly in Washington's hair and the eagle's breast feathers. Collectors actively seek out coins with crisp, well-defined details, as these are much harder to find. Luster also plays a major role, with bright, cartwheel-like surfaces adding significant appeal. Error coins from 1973 are a major area of interest and can dramatically increase value. Off-center strikes are among the most eye-catching errors, occurring when the coin blank is misaligned during striking. These can range from slight misalignments to dramatic examples where a large portion of the design is missing. Depending on severity, these coins can sell for $75 to $300 or more. Double die errors are another highly collectible variety. These occur when the die is misaligned during its creation, resulting in doubled images on the coin. Collectors often examine the lettering and Washington's profile for signs of doubling. Confirmed examples can command strong premiums, especially if the doubling is easily visible. Clipped planchet errors are also found in 1973 quarters. These occur when the metal strip is improperly cut, leaving a portion of the coin missing. The curved clip is a distinctive feature that collectors recognize immediately. Values typically range from $50 to $200 depending on size and condition. Strike-through errors, where debris interferes with the minting process, can create unique patterns or missing details on the coin's surface. These errors are highly individual, making each example unique and desirable to collectors. Collector interest in the 1973 quarter has steadily increased as more people begin to appreciate the nuances of modern coinage. The combination of high mintage, condition rarity, and the potential for errors makes this coin an attractive target for collectors of all levels. The accessibility of the 1973 quarter adds to its appeal. It can still be found in circulation, coin rolls, and old collections, giving collectors the opportunity to search for valuable examples without a significant investment. This treasure hunting aspect keeps the hobby exciting and engaging. 1974 George Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. The 1974 George Washington quarter continues the story of early clad coinage, representing a period when the United States Mint was refining its production processes while still facing the challenges of mass production. Like the 1973 quarter, it features the same classic design elements that had defined the series for decades. On the obverse, George Washington's portrait remains the central focus, with Liberty above, In God We Trust to the left, and the date 1974 to the right. The reverse once again showcases the heraldic eagle, a design that would remain in use until the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999. The 1974 quarter was struck in large numbers at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, with additional proof coins produced in San Francisco. The total mintage reached into the hundreds of millions, making the coin extremely common in circulated condition. Most 1974 quarters found in everyday use show moderate to heavy wear, with flattened details and dull surfaces. These coins typically hold only face value. However, as with the 1973 quarter, the real value emerges when you focus on high-grade examples. Uncirculated 1974 quarters in MS-65 condition may sell for $10 to $25, depending on luster and eye appeal. As you move into MS-66 and MS-67 grades, values increase significantly. MS-67 examples can command $200 to $500, particularly if they display strong strike quality and minimal contact marks. At the highest grades, MS-67 Plus and MS-68 coins are extremely rare. These top-tier examples can sell for $1,000 or more at auction, driven by their scarcity and strong collector demand. Strike quality is a major factor in determining value. Many 1974 quarters exhibit weak details, especially in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Coins with sharp, well-defined features are much more desirable and command higher premiums. Luster and surface preservation are also critical, with collectors seeking coins that retain their original mint brilliance. Error coins play a significant role in the appeal of the 1974 quarter. One of the most famous varieties associated with this year is the double die obverse, where noticeable doubling can be seen in the lettering and design elements. These coins are highly sought after and can command substantial premiums depending on the strength of the doubling and overall condition. Off-center strikes are also found in 1974 quarters, offering dramatic visual appeal and strong collector interest. Values for these errors typically range from $100 to $300 depending on severity. Clipped planchets, die cracks, and cuds are additional error types that can be found in this year. Die cracks appear as raised lines on the coin's surface, while cuds are larger raised areas caused by chunks of the die breaking away. These errors add character and uniqueness to the coin, making them attractive to collectors. Strike-through errors are also present, creating unusual textures or missing details where debris interfered with the striking process. Each example is unique, adding to its desirability. Collector interest in the 1974 quarter is driven by its combination of accessibility, historical context, and potential for high-grade rarity and errors. As more collectors turn their attention to modern coins, the demand for top-quality examples continues to grow. The 1974 quarter is still widely available in circulation and collections, making it an ideal coin for collectors who enjoy searching for hidden value. The possibility of finding a high-grade example or a rare error keeps the excitement alive. Together, the 1973 and 1974 Washington quarters demonstrate that even the most common coins can hold extraordinary potential. They remind us that value in numismatics is not always obvious, and that careful observation, knowledge, and persistence can uncover treasures hidden in plain sight. And as you continue your journey through coin collecting, remember that every coin you encounter has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth far more than you expect. 1986. D. George Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. The 1986 D. George Washington Quarter represents a different chapter in the story of American coinage, one defined by high production volumes, evolving minting technology, and a growing interest in modern coin collecting. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carries the familiar Washington quarter design that had become a staple of U.S. currency. On the obverse, George Washington's portrait remains unchanged, with liberty above, in God we trust to the left, and the date 1986 to the right. The D. Mint mark identifies its origin at the Denver Mint. The reverse continues to feature the heraldic eagle, a design that would remain in use until the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999. By 1986, the copper-nickel-clad composition had been in use for over 2 decades, and the mint had refined its production processes. However, the sheer volume of coins being produced still led to inconsistencies in quality, which plays a significant role in determining the value of these coins today. The Denver Mint produced approximately 504 million quarters in 1986, a massive mintage that suggests the coin is common. And in circulated condition, that is certainly true. Most 1986 D quarters are worth only their face value, showing signs of wear from years of use. But as with many modern coins, the real value lies in high-grade examples. Coins graded MS-65 and above begin to show increasing value, with MS-65 examples typically selling for a few dollars. As you move into MS-66 and MS-67, prices can rise significantly, with MS-67 coins often selling for $75 to $150 depending on eye appeal and luster. At the highest grades, MS-67 Plus and MS-68, the rarity becomes pronounced. These coins are extremely difficult to find due to the prevalence of contact marks and strike issues. When such coins appear at auction, they can command prices ranging from several $100s to over $1,000. Strike quality is a major factor in determining value. Many 1986 D quarters exhibit weak details, particularly in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Coins with strong, sharp strikes are much more desirable and command higher premiums. Luster and surface preservation are also critical, with collectors seeking coins that display original mint brilliance and minimal imperfections. Error coins are a key area of interest for the 1986 D quarter. Off-center strikes are among the most dramatic, with values ranging from $100 to $300 depending on severity. Double die errors, while less common, are also highly sought after. Collectors carefully examine coins for signs of doubling in the lettering and design elements, and confirmed examples can fetch significant premiums. Die cracks and cuds are frequently observed in this year, adding another layer of variety for collectors. These errors occur when the die begins to deteriorate, resulting in raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. Larger, more pronounced cuds can be particularly valuable. Clipped planchets and strike-through errors also appear in 1986 D quarters, offering additional opportunities for collectors to discover unique and valuable pieces. Each error tells a story about the minting process, making these coins especially appealing to those who appreciate the technical side of numismatics. Collector interest in the 1986 D quarter has grown alongside the broader interest in modern coinage. As more collectors begin to appreciate the nuances of minting and the importance of condition, coins like the 1986 D are gaining recognition for their potential value. The accessibility of this coin adds to its appeal. It can still be found in circulation and coin rolls, providing opportunities for collectors to search for high-grade examples or valuable errors. This treasure hunting aspect keeps the hobby engaging and accessible to a wide audience. The market for modern coins has expanded significantly in recent years, driven by increased awareness, online platforms, and grading services. This has helped elevate the status of coins like the 1986 D quarter, transforming them from everyday currency into collectible items with real value. Ultimately, the 1986 D George Washington quarter serves as a reminder that even the most common coins can hold hidden potential. With the right combination of condition, strike quality, and unique characteristics, a simple quarter can become a valuable addition to a collection. And as you continue exploring the world of coin collecting, remember that every coin has a story waiting to be uncovered. Sometimes, the most ordinary pieces are the ones that surprise you the most. 1987 D George Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. The 1987 D George Washington Quarter stands as a fascinating piece of modern American coinage, representing a period when the United States Mint was producing coins in enormous quantities, yet still leaving room for rarity, variation, and collector opportunity. Struck at the Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark on the obverse just to the right of Washington's ponytail, this coin carries forward the classic Washington quarter design that had already been in use for over 5 decades by that point. The obverse features the familiar left-facing portrait of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan. His design, based loosely on a bust by Jean-Antoine Houdon, had become a permanent symbol of American coinage. Above Washington's head is the word liberty, while the phrase "I in God we trust" sits to the left, and the date 1987 appears to the right. The reverse continues the heraldic eagle design, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, a visual representation of the nation's strength and desire for peace. United States of America arches above the eagle, while quarter dollar is inscribed below. By 1987, the quarter was struck in a copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper and nickel. This composition had been in use since 1965, replacing the earlier silver content due to rising metal costs. While this change made coins more economical to produce, it also introduced new challenges in terms of strike quality and long-term preservation, both of which play a crucial role in the value of modern quarters today. The Denver Mint produced approximately 655 million quarters in 1987, a massive mintage that would suggest the coin is extremely common. And in circulated condition, that assumption holds true. Most 1987 D quarters found in everyday change are worth only face value, showing signs of wear such as flattened details, scratches, and dull surfaces. However, as with many modern coins, the real story begins when you look beyond circulation and focus on condition rarity. High-grade examples of the 1987 D quarter are surprisingly difficult to find. Despite the large mintage, coins that have been preserved in near-perfect condition are scarce. This is largely due to the way coins were handled after leaving the mint. Bags of freshly struck coins were often transported and stored in ways that caused contact marks, nicks, and abrasions, preventing many coins from achieving top grades. In mint state condition, particularly grades like MS65 and above, the value begins to rise. An MS65 example might sell for a few dollars, but as you move into MS66 and MS67 territory, prices can increase significantly. Coins graded MS67 are considered premium examples, often displaying strong luster, minimal contact marks, and sharp details. These coins can sell for $50 to $150 depending on eye appeal and market demand. At the very top end, MS67 Plus and MS68 examples are exceptionally rare. These coins represent the finest known specimens, with near-perfect surfaces and outstanding strike quality. When such coins appear at auction, they can command prices ranging from several $100s to over $1,000, depending on certification and collector competition. One of the key factors influencing value is strike quality. Many 1987 D quarters exhibit weak strikes, particularly in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Coins with strong, Well-defined details are much more desirable and command higher premiums. Luster is another critical element. Original mint luster, often described as a cartwheel effect, adds significantly to a coin's visual appeal and value. Error coins are another major area of interest for the 1987 D-quarter. Off-center strikes are among the most visually dramatic errors, occurring when the coin blank is not properly aligned during the striking process. These errors can range from slight misalignments to extreme cases where a significant portion of the design is missing. Depending on the severity and overall condition, off-center 1987 D-quarters can sell for $75 to $300 or more. Double die errors are also sought after, though they are less common for this year. These occur when the die used to strike the coin has a misalignment during its creation, resulting in doubled images on the coin. Collectors look for doubling in areas such as the lettering or Washington's profile. Confirmed double die examples can command strong premiums, especially if the doubling is clearly visible without magnification. Clipped planchet errors are another fascinating variety. These occur when the metal strip used to create coin blanks is improperly cut, resulting in a portion of the coin missing. The curved clip is a distinctive feature that collectors recognize immediately. A 1987 D-quarter with a noticeable clip can be worth anywhere from $50 to $200 depending on size and condition. Die cracks and cuds are also present in this series. These occur when the die begins to deteriorate, creating raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. While subtle die cracks may add only modest value, larger cuds can be quite dramatic and desirable, sometimes fetching significant premiums among error collectors. Collector interest in the 1987 D-quarter has grown steadily over time, particularly as more people recognize the importance of condition rarity in modern coinage. Unlike older coins where rarity is often determined by mintage, modern coins rely heavily on preservation and quality. This has created a unique dynamic where even common coins can become valuable if they meet strict grading standards. The accessibility of this coin adds to its appeal. Many collectors enjoy searching through rolls of quarters or examining pocket change in hopes of finding a high-grade example or a valuable error. This treasure hunting aspect keeps the hobby engaging and accessible, allowing both beginners and experienced collectors to participate. The 1987 D-quarter serves as a reminder that value in numismatics is not always obvious. It requires knowledge, attention to detail, and a willingness to look closely at what others might overlook. 1988 P. George Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. The 1988 P. George Washington Quarter might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, just another piece of late 20th century pocket change struck in Philadelphia. But beneath that everyday appearance lies a fascinating combination of minting history, subtle varieties, and collector-driven demand that can push certain examples far beyond face value. This coin belongs to the long-running Washington Quarter series, originally introduced in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, and by 1988 the design had already become one of the most recognizable in American coinage. By this time, the coin was struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition, consisting of a pure copper core sandwiched between outer layers of copper and nickel, giving it that familiar silvery appearance while maintaining durability for circulation. The obverse still featured the classic left-facing portrait of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan, with the inscriptions Liberty above, In God We Trust to the left, and the date 1988 positioned on the right side. The reverse retained the iconic eagle design, wings spread wide, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing both strength and peace, with United States of America and quarter dollar framing the design. Now here's where things begin to get interesting. The Philadelphia Mint, indicated by the P mint mark just to the right of Washington's ponytail, produced a massive number of these coins in 1988, with a mintage exceeding 596 million pieces. That's an enormous figure, which normally would suggest very low individual value. However, as any seasoned collector knows, high mintage does not eliminate the possibility of rarity. Instead, it shifts the focus toward condition, strike quality, and mint errors. In circulated condition, most 1988 P quarters are still worth only their face value, and millions continue to pass through hands unnoticed. But once you move into uncirculated territory, particularly coins graded MS65 and above, the value starts to climb. At MS65, a typical example might sell for a few dollars, but at MS67, prices can jump significantly, often reaching $40 to $100 depending on eye appeal and luster. At the very top end, coins graded MS67 Plus or MS68, which are exceptionally rare due to the difficulty of preserving modern coins in pristine condition, have been known to sell for several $100s, sometimes even approaching the $1,000 range in strong auction environments. One major reason for this sharp increase in value at higher grades is the quality control and production realities of the late 1980s. While the mint was producing coins in massive quantities, they were not necessarily prioritizing the kind of precision that would produce large numbers of flawless examples. As a result, coins with strong strikes, clean fields, and minimal contact marks are much scarcer than the mintage number might suggest. Beyond condition, error coins are where the 1988 P quarter truly shines in the numismatic world. Collectors actively search for off-center strikes, where the design is misaligned, sometimes dramatically so. These errors can range from minor shifts to extreme examples where part of the design is missing, and depending on severity, values can range from $50 to several $100s. Another highly sought-after category includes double die errors. While not as prominent as some earlier decades, subtle doubling in the lettering or design elements can still occur, and specialists are always examining coins under magnification to identify these variations. When confirmed and certified, these double dies can command premiums well above standard examples. Clipped planchets are another fascinating error type associated with this era. These occur when the metal blank is improperly cut before striking, resulting in a curved bite missing from the coin. A 1988 P quarter with a noticeable clip can easily sell for $75 to $200 depending on size and overall condition. Then there are strike-through errors, where foreign materials such as grease or debris interferes with the die during the striking process, leaving unusual textures or missing details on the coin's surface. These errors often create a unique fingerprint-like appearance, making each piece one of a kind, and collectors value them for their distinctiveness. Collector interest in the 1988 P quarter has grown steadily over time, particularly as more people begin to realize that modern coins can hold significant value when preserved in high grade or when featuring unusual characteristics. The accessibility of coin grading services and online marketplaces has also contributed to this rise, allowing collectors to identify, certify, and trade these coins more efficiently than ever before. What makes this coin especially appealing is that it sits at the intersection of affordability and potential. Unlike older, rare coins that may require substantial investment, the 1988 P quarter can still be found in circulation or purchased inexpensively in bulk, giving collectors the thrill of discovery without a high barrier to entry. And that's the key factor driving its popularity. It's not just about the coin itself, but the hunt. The possibility that a seemingly ordinary quarter could turn out to be a high-grade rarity or a valuable error keeps collectors searching rolls, checking change, and studying every detail under magnification. The 1995 D. George Washington quarter represents a powerful example of how modern coins, despite massive production numbers, can still hold real collector value when examined closely. Struck at the Denver Mint and marked with a D mint mark on the obverse, this coin continues the long-standing Washington quarter design that had defined American coinage for decades leading up to the state quarters era. The obverse features the iconic portrait of George Washington, facing left, originally designed by John Flanagan. Above his head is Liberty, while I in God We Trust appears to the left, and the date 1995 is positioned to the right. The reverse displays the heraldic eagle with wings fully extended, clutching arrows and olive branches, symbolizing the nation's readiness for defense and commitment to peace. United States of America arches above the eagle, with $quarter below. By 1995, the coin was struck in the standard copper-nickel clad composition, consisting of a pure copper core layered between nickel-copper outer surfaces. This composition had been in use since 1965, and while durable, it often resulted in coins that were prone to surface marks and inconsistent strikes, especially when produced in high volumes. The Denver Mint produced approximately 1.25 billion quarters in 1995, an enormous mintage that would suggest the coin is extremely common. And in circulated condition, that assumption is accurate. Most 1995 D quarters found in pocket change show wear, dull surfaces, and reduced detail, making them worth only their face value. However, the real story begins when you examine uncirculated examples. High-grade coins from this year are surprisingly difficult to find. Despite the large mintage, the majority of coins were not preserved in pristine condition. Many were stored in bags that caused contact marks, or they entered circulation quickly, reducing the number of coins that could achieve top grades. Coins graded MS65 are relatively common and may sell for a few dollars. But as you move into MS66 and MS67, the population decreases significantly. MS67 examples can command prices ranging from $75 to $150 depending on luster, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. At the highest grades, MS67 Plus and MS68, the rarity becomes extreme. These coins are exceptionally difficult to find due to the mint's production methods and the handling of coins after striking. When such coins appear at auction, they can sell for several $100s, sometimes approaching or exceeding $1,000, especially if they are certified by major grading services. Strike quality plays a major role in determining value. Many 1995 D quarters exhibit weak details, particularly in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. Coins with strong, sharp strikes are far more desirable and command higher premiums. Luster is equally important, with collectors seeking coins that display bright, original mint brilliance with minimal contact marks. Error coins are where the 1995 D quarter becomes especially exciting for collectors. Off-center strikes are among the most dramatic and visually appealing errors. These occur when the coin blank is misaligned during striking, resulting in a portion of the design being missing. Depending on the severity, these coins can sell for $100 to $300 or more. Double die errors are another area of interest. While not extremely common for this year, subtle doubling can be found in the lettering or design elements. Collectors often use magnification to identify these variations, and confirmed examples can command strong premiums. Die cracks and cuds are also frequently observed. These occur when the die begins to deteriorate, creating raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. Larger, more pronounced cuds can be particularly valuable and are highly sought after by error collectors. Clipped planchet errors add another layer of intrigue. These occur when the metal blank is improperly cut, leaving a curved section missing from the coin. Depending on the size and condition of the clip, these coins can be worth $50 to $200 or more. Strike-through errors, where debris interferes with the minting process, can create unique textures or missing details on the coin's surface. These errors are highly individual, making each piece unique and desirable. Collector interest in the 1995 D quarter has grown steadily as more people begin to appreciate the potential of modern coins. The combination of high mintage, condition rarity, and the possibility of valuable errors makes this coin an attractive target for collectors. What makes this coin particularly appealing is its accessibility. It can still be found in circulation, coin rolls, and old collections, giving collectors the opportunity to search for valuable examples without a large investment. This treasure hunting aspect keeps the hobby engaging and rewarding. 1995 P. George Washington quarter dollar coin. Moving forward to the 1995 P. George Washington quarter, we enter another chapter of modern coinage that at first glance appears completely ordinary, yet holds surprising depth when examined through the lens of numismatics. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint once again, this coin continues the long-standing Washington quarter design, maintaining the same portrait and eagle reverse that had defined the series for decades prior to the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999. In 1995, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 1 billion quarters, an even larger mintage than 1988, reinforcing the idea that this is a common coin. But as with the 1988 P, the story doesn't end with mintage figures. Instead, it begins there, setting the stage for collectors to focus on the finer details that separate ordinary coins from valuable ones. The design elements remain consistent, with Washington's profile dominating the obverse, and the heraldic eagle commanding the reverse. However, the quality of strikes during this period varied widely, and many coins exhibit weak details, particularly in Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. This inconsistency plays a major role in determining value at higher grades. In circulated condition, the 1995 P quarter is almost always worth face value. But uncirculated coins, especially those preserved in mint sets or carefully stored collections, begin to show their potential. At MS65, values are modest, typically in the range of $2 to $5. But as you move into MS67 territory, prices can rise to $50 or more. At the highest grades, MS67 Plus and MS68, the rarity becomes significant. These coins are extremely difficult to find due to the prevalence of contact marks and strike issues in mass-produced coins. As a result, top-grade examples have sold for several $100s, with some reaching close to $1,000 depending on certification and market demand. Error coins once again play a crucial role in elevating the 1995 P quarter status among collectors. One of the most notable types is the off-center strike, similar to the 1988 P, where the design is misaligned. These errors are visually striking and highly collectible, often selling for $100 to $300 depending on severity. Double die varieties are another area of interest. While major doubling is rare for this year, minor doubling can still be found in inscriptions such as Liberty or I in God We Trust. Collectors equipped with magnification tools often spend hours examining coins for these subtle differences, and confirmed examples can command strong premiums. Die cracks and cut errors are also frequently observed in 1995 P quarters. These occur when the die begins to deteriorate, resulting in raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. While some may view these as imperfections, collectors often see them as unique identifiers, adding character and value to the coin. Clipped planchets and strike-through errors also appear in this year, providing additional opportunities for collectors to discover unusual and valuable pieces. Each error tells a story about the minting process, offering a glimpse into the complex machinery and human factors involved in coin production. What truly drives collector interest in the 1995 P quarter is the realization that modern coins are not as uniform as they seem. Beneath the surface lies a world of variation, where small differences can translate into significant value. This has led to a growing community of collectors who specialize in modern coinage, challenging the traditional focus on older coins. Another important factor is accessibility. Like the 1988 P, the 1995 P quarter can still be found in circulation, bankrolls, and coin jars, making it an ideal entry point for new collectors. The thrill of potentially finding a high-grade or error coin in everyday change adds an element of excitement that keeps people engaged. The market for these coins has also benefited from increased awareness through online platforms, auctions, and social media, where collectors share discoveries and educate others about what to look for. This collective knowledge has helped elevate the status of coins like the 1995 P, turning them from overlooked currency into sought-after collectibles. In the end, both the 1988 P and 1995 P George Washington quarters represent more than just their face value. They are examples of how modern coinage can offer hidden opportunities for those willing to look closely, learn the details, and appreciate the nuances of minting and preservation. And that's what makes this journey so compelling. Every coin has a story, every detail matters, and sometimes, the most ordinary pieces hold the most extraordinary potential. 1997 D. George Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. The 1997 D. George Washington Quarter represents the final years of the classic Washington quarter design before the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999, making it part of a transitional period in U.S. coinage history. Struck at the Denver Mint, this coin carries the same iconic design elements that had defined the series for decades, yet it holds unique characteristics that have captured the attention of collectors. On the obverse, George Washington's portrait remains the central focus, with Liberty above, In God We Trust to the left, and the date 1997 to the right. The D mint mark indicates its origin at the Denver Mint. The reverse continues to feature the heraldic eagle, a design that would soon be replaced by the diverse imagery of the State Quarters series, adding a layer of historical significance to coins from this era. The composition remains copper-nickel clad, consistent with post-1965 quarters. While this composition ensures durability, it also means that coins are prone to contact marks and wear, making high-grade examples particularly valuable. The mintage for the 1997 D quarter was approximately 762 million coins, once again suggesting a common coin. And like the 1987 D, most examples in circulation are worth only face value. However, the story changes dramatically when you consider condition and errors. High-grade 1997 D quarters are surprisingly scarce. Coins graded MS65 are relatively common and may sell for a few dollars. But as you move into MS66 and MS67, the population decreases significantly. MS67 examples can command prices ranging from $75 to $200, depending on eye appeal and market conditions. At the highest grades, MS67 Plus and MS68, the rarity becomes extreme. These coins are difficult to find due to the prevalence of contact marks and strike issues. When top-grade examples appear at auction, they can sell for several $100s, sometimes approaching or exceeding $1,000. Strike quality plays a major role in determining value. Many 1997 D quarters exhibit weak details, particularly in the eagle's feathers and Washington's hair. Coins with strong, sharp strikes are much more desirable and command higher premiums. Luster and surface quality are also critical factors, with collectors seeking coins that display original mint brilliance and minimal imperfections. Error coins are a major driver of interest in the 1997 D quarter. Off-center strikes are among the most dramatic, with values ranging from $100 to $300 depending on severity. Double die errors, while less common, are also highly sought after. Collectors carefully examine coins for signs of doubling in the lettering and design elements, and confirmed examples can fetch significant premiums. Die cracks and cuds are frequently observed in this year, adding another layer of variety for collectors. These errors provide insight into the wear and tear of minting equipment, and larger, more pronounced examples can be quite valuable. Ultimately, the 1986 D. George Washington quarter serves as a reminder that even the most common coins can hold hidden potential. With the right combination of condition, strike quality, and unique characteristics, a simple quarter can become a valuable addition to a collection. And as you continue exploring the world of coin collecting, remember that every coin has a story waiting to be uncovered. Sometimes, the most ordinary pieces are the ones that surprise you the most. 1997 P. George Washington Quarter Dollar Coin. The 1997 P. George Washington Quarter holds a unique place in American coinage history as one of the final years before the introduction of the State Quarters program in 1999. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, this coin represents the closing chapter of the classic Washington quarter design that had been in continuous use since 1932. The obverse features the familiar portrait of George Washington, with Liberty above, In God We Trust to the left, and the date 1997 to the right. The P mint mark indicates its origin at the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse continues the heraldic eagle design, a symbol that would soon be replaced by a new era of state-themed imagery. The composition remains copper-nickel clad, consistent with post-1965 quarters. While durable, this composition often results in coins that are prone to contact marks and wear, making high-grade examples particularly valuable. The Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 1.05 billion quarters in 1997, another massive mintage that suggests the coin is common. And in circulated condition, most examples are indeed worth only face value. However, as with the 1995 D quarter, the real value lies in uncirculated and high-grade examples. Coins graded MS65 are relatively common and may sell for a few dollars. But as you move into MS66 and MS67, values increase significantly. MS67 examples can command prices ranging from $75 to $200 depending on eye appeal and strike quality. At the highest grades, MS67 Plus and MS68, the rarity becomes extreme. These coins are difficult to find due to the prevalence of contact marks and inconsistent strikes. When top-grade examples appear at auction, they can sell for several $100s, sometimes exceeding $1,000. Strike quality is a key factor in determining value. Many 1997 P quarters exhibit weak details, particularly in the eagle's feathers and Washington's hair. Coins with strong, sharp strikes are much more desirable and command higher premiums. Error coins are a major driver of interest in the 1997 P quarter. Off-center strikes are among the most visually striking errors, with values ranging from $100 to $300 depending on severity. Double die errors, while less common, are also highly sought after. Collectors carefully examine coins for signs of doubling in the lettering and design elements. Die cracks and cuds are frequently observed, adding another layer of variety. These errors occur when the die begins to deteriorate, resulting in raised lines or blobs of metal on the coin's surface. Larger cuds can be particularly valuable. Clipped planchets and strike-through errors also appear in this year, offering additional opportunities for collectors to discover unique and valuable pieces. Each error tells a story about the minting process, making these coins especially appealing. Collector interest in the 1997 P quarter is also driven by its historical significance. As one of the last years before the state quarters program, it represents the end of an era in American coinage. This adds an extra layer of appeal for collectors who appreciate the historical context. The accessibility of the 1997 P quarter makes it an ideal coin for collectors of all levels. It can still be found in circulation, bank rolls, and collections, providing opportunities for discovery and learning. The thrill of finding a high-grade example or a valuable error keeps collectors engaged. The market for modern coins has grown significantly in recent years, with increased awareness and access to grading services and online platforms. This has helped elevate the status of coins like the 1997 P quarter, transforming them from everyday currency into collectible items with real value. Together, the 1995 D and 1997 P George Washington quarters demonstrate that even the most common coins can hold hidden potential. They remind us that value in coin collecting is not always obvious, and that careful observation, knowledge, and persistence can reveal treasures hidden in plain sight. And as you continue your journey through coin collecting, remember that every coin you encounter has a story waiting to be discovered, and sometimes, that story is worth far more than you ever expected.